Hey, what's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo, and it is a Wednesday, and we are already excited because we just got done with AEW Dynamite last night. But it's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm here with Mr. Robert Karplis, WB Creative _ish. Robert, happy Wednesday to you. Do you feel satisfied after a Tuesday now?
I've not known what day of the week it is because of Dynamite, and it's messing with my head, kind of like you wearing what appears to be an Orange Cassidy denim jacket.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on here today?
I guess, no, it's just cold outside. It's like a chilly day in Pittsburgh, and so I closed the windows. I just never took the denim jacket off.
How cold is it in Pittsburgh right now?
It's probably like a 50-something, I would say.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I got no leg to stand on. It's 89 degrees here.
Hey, I'd trade you. I would trade you.
No, I don't want to be in Pittsburgh.
No, sure.
I'm relative. As much as I like putting French fries on a sandwich, I'm good. What's also good is saying hi to some of the folks joining us here.
Yes.
E says, "What's up? Who would have thought the Hardys being TNA tag champs would win the NXT tag titles on a Tuesday, and then on Sunday they will be facing the Dudleys at TNA Bound for Glory." Yeah, this is like a fever dream of a sentence right there to try to untangle. Also, he says Fonzie is returning tonight. Is that true?
That is true. Fonzie will be back. Me and Fonzie will go live, rvdtv.com at 8 p.m. tonight. We're going to talk about the infamous match between him and Beulah.
That's an all-timer.
An all-timer.
That's where he bled like a stuck pig.
It was crazy. There was a lot of blood in that one. Holy smokes.
Now, are you going to get into the rumor and innuendo behind that match?
Fill me in a little bit on this, because I'm pretty new to the whole incident of that.
So again, this is hearsay within hearsay. We're getting into legal whatever here. That Fonzie was allegedly caught being a stooge, filtering information to someone in WCW. It may have been going up as high as Bischoff. Heyman found out, put him into this match. He bled like a stuck pig. He went out there and gave his heart and soul, and that was when they were like, "All right, this guy is with us," and wow. it alleviated it. This is all sort of urban legend. Yeah. Whether it's true or not, be really interesting to hear anything about that, or you're just going to get me like huge heat with Fonzie.
Well, yeah, I'll dabble into it maybe and see what he has to say about that, because I was unaware of it.
From what I understand, he was either funneling stuff to WCW or something with action figures.
Interesting.
Wrestling Old Head says, "Good day to you all. The Hardys got NXT, and Kyle fought Kyle because Kyle killed Kenny."
Oh, nice.
Yes. And Dre Owens just says, "Hello, R&I."
Hello,
Dre.
Hello.
Hello, everybody joining us here on a Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here. It's almost 90 degrees out. It's beautiful, hot and sunny. Dom's wearing a Orange Cassidy cosplay, and we have new NXT tag champions for the brand that is highlighting the hot young talent, the up and comers for the future. And who are the new NXT tag team champions?
Well, that would be the Hardy Boys. Their names are Matt and Jeff, if you aren't aware of them.
Wow. Well, yes. Anything can happen in the WWF.
I found it weird, too. I tuned in a little bit, just the clips, and they keep calling the Dudleys Team 3D, even on NXT, and I thought that was strange, Robert.
So we're going to untangle a lot of untangling here in terms of intellectual property. The WWE owns the rights to the name the Dudley Boys. They are only allowed to be referred to as the Dudley Boys if they are performing in a capacity as WWE talent. Mm-hmm. They are currently not active WWE talent. They're competing on the TNA pay-per-view where they are Team 3D. If WWE were to allow them to wrestle as the Dudley Boys on TNA programming, there is the possibility of a future intellectual property challenge to the claim. Isn't that what you all tuned in for today, guys?
Wow. So they're just covering their bases just to be on the safe side.
I think, yeah, they're just trying to maintain that consistency and continuity. WWE has always played a little bit of hokey pokey when it comes to IP rights. There are certain talents that they allow to use their name or keep their gimmick. There are certain people they go after with pitchforks. It's kind of like how you leave the company is how they're going to treat you. And for right now, everybody's on good terms. We like the Hardys, we like the Dudleys. Where they're doing a TLC match at the TNA pay-per-view with the NXT tag titles there and the TNA tag titles. I haven't, full disclosure, I did not get a chance to watch NXT last night either. I have it queued up. I'll be watching it this afternoon. Myself and Scott Chappett are going to be recording our working stiff gimmick. So we'll get to go over it at some point for that. I did watch Dynamite.
I did too, Robert. I did too.
I like that we both went in that very weird, like, NPR.
Fresh air.
Dynamite. I watched Dynamite.
Oh my God. That was a little creepy, Robert.
I'm so excited.
Oh my God. I just can't hide it.
Nope, no, you ruined it. You ruined it. We were good. And then Wrestling Old Head asks, what's Joel Gertner doing these days? They should have him come out with Team 3D for full-on nostalgia. I feel like he was doing a podcast at some point, maybe for Conrad, or maybe I'm making this up.
I knew he was kind of helping with Conrad, like at StarCast 3. I met him for the first time. He was in the green room with all of us.
I've never met the quintessential stud muffin.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy.
That was a great gimmick of the time. And what's messing with my brain is I was talking with Scott that Dynamite has now been on longer than Nitro was on. And I think of Nitro as being this like behemoth for years and years and years and years. And Dynamite to me still feels like, oh, it's the upstart company.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
It's odd, but they were at their happy place. They were at Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
And
they kicked it off, Robert, with a face-to-face. What we talked about. Tony Schiavone kicked things off and introduced Samoa Joe and Hangman Page, who had a confrontation. Samoa Joe did not deny what Hangman Page had to say about him, and he said it was all true, and he's going to speak some harder truths to Hangman, and he did. What did you think of this segment, Robert? Did you like it?
They did exactly what we said was going to happen, that Tony was going to just kind of come up with this match and hope that these guys can weave together a story that feels compelling, and they did. You know, we got to this story of Hangman being confused about what happened, this idea that you helped me beat Jon Moxley, you helped me become the world champion. I was done with the Death Riders. I stepped in to be your tag partner. I stepped in to help you guys when I didn't have to. And this is the reward that I get. And then it was Joe basically calling him out for being a pretender, for being a paper champion. Hey, you've never beaten me. You don't deserve this title. I am the true champion. It's like it was like a month's worth of storyline in one segment.
Yeah.
But Joe and Hangman are compelling. Joe's a hell of a promo. He's a hell of a worker. He's a hell of a promo.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman was able to get that emotion, but there's a hint, a baby's breath of that Bret Hart whininess that turns off crowds.
I guess I can get that a little bit. I'm more so that he constantly hits the same note.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 or 3 notes for him to hit. And it's he's earnest, but he is also still the guy who I'm pretty sure like a year ago, like burned a dude's house down and stabbed him with a syringe.
Yes.
And was a crazy lunatic, but now he's white meat babyface Hangman Adam Page, the golly gosh gee shucks cowboy who's, let's all get along. I did love, one of the funniest things was Samoa Joe pointing out the hypocrisy of the open challenge. You know what you do? You give a guy like 5 minutes to prepare and then go out there and they're overwhelmed by the moment. It's a scam. And like within kayfabe, it's a fun little Carney moment.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We had Moxley kicking off in the competitive realm against Tomohiro Ishii.
So before we got to that, there was that conglomeration promo
Yeah,
to
yeah,
tie
okay.
the show together, to make sense why all these matches were happening. Mark Briscoe being the Spirit Squad guy that he is, being the cheerleader for it. They were having fun in this segment, and you can kind of tell.
Mhm.
The trying to make the most of this Kyle versus Kyle thing, trying to build up Ishii versus Moxley, Orange Cassidy versus Pac, Briscoe also being there. He's just so fun and he's so entertaining and he's so interesting that it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, I love Mark Briscoe, and I think, yeah, I mean, the most you make out of him, he's another Eddie Kingston in the mix, I think, and I think there's a lot you can do when you are down people like they are right now when it comes to baby faces and stuff like that. So
I've said all along, him and Eddie Kingston, and to a degree Willow Nightingale, are the Mick Foley of AEW, and not just because Willow is from beautiful Valley Stream, Long Island, New York, but they're authentic. They're people you want to see succeed, and they do feel like there's a heart and soul and passion about what they're saying and doing. I believe John Moxley has heart and soul and passion for AEW, but it always feels misguided. And then we got this match with Ishii that was perfectly fine. Not quite sure what it accomplished other than, hey, we got Moxley out there wrestling on a Tuesday.
that's basically what it felt like. I mean, I thought it was a fine match too, and I liked a lot of aspects about it, and like the psychology that was used, and Ishii getting a little bloody too, and it wasn't Mox that got bloody this time, so I liked it. I did like it, but yeah, I'm with you on the fact that it was a match to have a match. That's kind of what it felt like.
And it's like, they told us earlier, this is their third time wrestling, and it was, they'd wrestled, I believe, G1 at one point, and they wrestled on an episode of Dynamite. If there was buildup, if there was a long time to tell this story, and this was something of consequence, maybe there would have been something to it. But you're shoehorning, trying to tell that whole story in the 2 minutes before you get to the match. It doesn't quite give your brain a chance to really settle in and appreciate what's going on.
Right, right. No, it is true. Because if you told me that they never wrestled before, I would have just assumed they didn't. But
It's AEW. Everybody has wrestled everybody else at least 1,000 times. And
right.
if you thought they'd never wrestled, Excalibur will point out, actually, they wrestled in Berwyn, Illinois, at an AAW show in 2013 at the it was a state fair.
State fair match.
Yes,
Hey,
it's like
we
an
almost
Australian rules match, but use corn dogs instead of kangaroos.
Oh my. It's almost like a street fight then. And we just had that right after this one. It was the Hurt Syndicate taking on the Demand. And the Hurt
Man,
Syndicate,
it's almost like I teed you up for that. Man, this match was stiff.
Yes.
And speaking of stiff,
Hey.
hey, if you thought the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate was stiff, guys, can we talk to you about our friends at Blue Chew? Guys, much like Ricochet, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. And we've got a special deal for our listeners as always. Get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code RUMOR at checkout, pay $5 shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for important details and safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Blue Chew. Aha! Had to do it. Sorry.
So Tony Gong says, minor nitpick, but I think a show called Title Tuesday should have been all title matches. Here's the problem with that, Tony. They had a 6-man tag. That would have required 6-man tag titles.
Right.
Oh. Oh.
Do they have them?
I think so. This was a fun match. That table spot where the table didn't break looked like it sucked.
Yeah, that did not.
That must have been so painful. I loved the visual of the Demand coming out in jeans and the Hurt Syndicate dressed in their button down shirts. It was great. It was mobsters versus street gang. I enjoyed it. It was clear that when the Demand won at the pay-per-view, they didn't have a long-term plan for these guys.
Yeah.
And now it's just all right, these guys got their win back, and here we are.
Here we are. No, again, the purpose is for Hurt Syndicate to get their win back. But like, yeah, it was just another good match. I thought it kind of filled up some time, and I thought it was fun. It was definitely fun. After that, Robert, we had Jurassic Express. They did not fight TBA 2 like we predicted. They fought KM and Orion in what was a squash match, Robert.
It was. It was they said some like weird stat where it's like these guys haven't teamed together in like 1,300 days, and it's still like they haven't given really an explanation as to why this is happening.
It's true, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, the story with Jack Perry was he was the evil heel. Then he wanted to use real glass. Then it led to the death of CM Punk. Then he became the scapegoat. He left. He was twisted and messed up in the head as a character. Then he was part of this thing with the Elite and the Young Bucks and all that. And then he disappeared again. And then he was out making like leather and knives and stuff in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just back as a babyface with Luchasaurus feuding with the Bucks. And we don't quite know why.
Yeah, I think the babyface is the right spot for him because it's just like that heel run was not good. And so to pair him back up, that makes sense, but it's also like, yeah, what's behind it? What's the substance behind it all? And there is no substance right now.
Well, the substance behind it is that song is over.
Yeah.
The group was over as a duo, so it's just like, all right, let's just let them go out there and wrestle the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's true. What do you think of this Bucks thing too? Again, with the money stuff and them. Hey, we need a money match, and now we're just fighting these guys. I don't know. It's just I get them wrestling one another, I guess, but it also just feels a little disjointed.
I don't understand a lot of what they're doing with the Young Bucks because, like I said before, I feel like this is the time where you need strong heels as a tag team. The tag division has a lot of really talented teams out there that just don't have a lot to work with. I mean, even Brodito didn't quite have an immediate next tag team they were going to be facing. You got Jet Speed, who's kind of off with FTR on Collision. There's no reason why the Young Bucks couldn't be a force to be reckoned with in some form or fashion. But now is this like hard scrabble, we need money. Makes me think back. They did that with Diamond Dallas Page like 100 years ago when he was like he had lost all his money and he was poor. It was kind of funny. This is old WCW. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, and what they did with Baron Corbin, obviously too. But
Corbin's another example. But then the table turns, and then they wind up becoming either sympathetic or they get their money back. And we've seen them already get their money back, and then lose it again. And it's like I just don't see it, like kind of like Rollins. Like I just don't see these guys as baby faces.
I see them as baby faces. I do, but I think you should do the due diligence of making them get there in the right manner. I think.
Well, sometimes you can just do lazy booking and just say, "Hey, you know who Kyle should face?
Kyle." Yeah, I mean, this was a showcase for Kyle Fletcher, I think, and I thought it was a fine match. What did you have any other thoughts on this one?
It was a solid match. It felt like the kind of match that I don't know that I would necessarily have put out there, knowing you're competing against NXT.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's one of those things where if you're trying to keep your audience and get them to not grab the clicker and see what's on the other channel, Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly, yeah, it'll be a good match, but it's kind of a foregone conclusion. And then after the match, Archer comes out, Conglomeration comes out. You get the Don Callis family brawling, and then it ends with Briscoe staring down Kyle Fletcher, and afterwards getting the announcement that it'll be Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe at the pay-per-view, which is where we kind of thought this was going to go all along, but kept trying to say, what are they doing with the Mark Briscoe build? Like he just kept letting everyone else have a shot before him.
Right.
That part still doesn't make a lot of sense. If it was Kyle Fletcher ducking him and saying, I'll fight anybody but you, maybe you got a little something there.
Maybe you got something. Yeah, and it's just this could have been more intriguing, I think, if you did do more with Kyle O'Reilly, like starting things off. It's just like, oh, let's plug this guy in, have him job out and do it.
It's funny the way you just said compelling and Kyle O'Reilly in the same sentence. It's tough. Just letting the dog out. That's all.
Okay, no problem. We did have, I don't know where this fell onto the show, but I did want to make note that Jetspeed did do a little brief promo.
They definitely did.
And I really liked, I dug what they were doing, actually. I like these guys, and I think them with Willow is cool, but they definitely show some good babyface potential, Robert. I don't know if you think anything different.
I think Jetspeed are they're good. They need more time to do promos.
Yes.
They are not great speakers. I think that they're an example of a great, somewhat over babyface team who, if they were given some more time and opportunity to gel together, could be something really, really special.
Right.
But them working with the Bucks, I think, would have been a really nice opportunity for these guys.
For sure. And it goes to your point too. If you really just put your chips behind the Bucks as big time heels, it make even more sense to have that happen and how you mix it up.
We got the Mercedes Moné Open Challenge. It was not answered by Devin Dowling, who just joined in with an Ayo. Instead, it was the incredibly talented Lacey Lane.
Yes.
Formerly of WWE, and in just a few short weeks, we'll be competing in Boca Raton Championship Wrestling for the November Knockdown, November 2nd, here in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida.
Very nice.
It was nice of Tony Khan to use this show as an appetizer for the real main event, which is the BRCW show that we got coming up here in November. I was excited to get to work with Lacey before seeing this match. Afterwards, I'm pretty bullish, dude.
Nice. Yeah. These two complemented one another really well. And you can tell Mercedes was kind of excited to have somebody like that in the ring with her too. So I think it was a fine thing to do. And what if they will do more with her moving forward, JCJ?
Well, they made a point of mentioning that
Lacey Lane. I called her JC Jane.
What? You called her JC Jane on an email that no one else saw but you and I.
Yes.
I'm begging, Dom.
Thanks.
Just kayfabe. Anyway, no, they had mentioned that Lacey Lane had competed in Ring of Honor a few weeks ago. So it wasn't like this was a total out of nowhere, where did she come from thing, which is kind of nice. And obviously that crowd's going to know who she is, and the audience watching at home is going to recognize her. So cool. I think there were some people who thought this was potentially going to be Dakota Kai or Shotzi. But it was good, and it was better than trying to pretend for the millionth time, like, here comes Riho.
That's it. Give a little variety in there. And if you're going to have some stuff happen where you get new talent to mix it up with one of your top talents, I think that's okay from time to time.
Well, then we got Takeshita and Okada versus Brodito.
Yes. And you were right about the double jeopardy stipulation, Robert.
I can't believe I figured that one out. that law degree is finally coming in handy.
About time.
Maybe I'm confused. Takeshita and Okada seem to get along pretty well for guys who don't get along and then were angry after. And it didn't really help if the announcers after were like, why is Takeshita so mad at Okada?
I don't get it.
I was like, no, it should have been like more apparent, but I don't know.
Yeah. I guess maybe it's contradicting telling the story, though, if they have tension and then they win, but I don't know. I guess you could do it in some form or fashion where they still get
it was
win.
like it's the old school Vince Russo booking of tag team partners who don't like each other.
Yeah.
Bro, they don't get along, but they got a tag. It's compelling. What if we have PAC come out in pants?
And a singlet, bro.
Bro, he looks like Mysterio if he joined the Beatles.
Boy, what a comparison. It dawned on me who he does look like, though, is Alexander Ovechkin. Short.
Well, now I can't unsee that.
Right?
Now I can't unsee that. I also couldn't unsee the main event, which was Orange Cassidy versus PAC. It was a fine match that felt like it took place 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yes.
Being in Daly's place, these two guys who neither one of them really became the main event threat that we thought they were going to be. Like, there was a world where they were the face of the company, and they made it feel like a unique and different environment where, Yes, they're not 6'8", but they are your main event guys.
Right.
So the match was very, very good, but felt, again, sort of inconsequential.
Absolutely. And I think, and more so too, you have PAC return, and sure, it was like not a fluke loss, but not like a definitive loss either, except for the 1-2-3. But like, it doesn't. The Death Riders are losers. They lose all the time. What kind of credible threat are they? That's just kind of what reiterates that for me. And yeah, I just don't. They just feel like just a faction that's a faction, and I don't care about them.
I also didn't quite understand what was going on with Darby, who just popped up after the match with just a bunch of weapons like Grand Theft Auto. And then he goes to throw a Molotov cocktail, and then the security dude just wiped him out, ended his day. He shut him down.
Big time. It was like, what were those things called? The NFL films that they used to have that they did this, where it was just straight up hits. I can't remember the name of those.
But yes, that was what that was. So I guess it's Darby versus that guy. But it's never great. Week. It's never great when your babyface is the one trying to murder a stadium full of people with a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah. Hey,
but that's
you'll have plenty of time to murder him next week, though, Robert, because it's a 3-hour show. They're combining.
No, it's 2 hours of Dynamite and Collision, which is a completely separate show. I always love when they do the back-to-back that Tony still doesn't give a damn about Collision. Right. It's like you can tell. It's like it's Kenny Omega, and then at 10:01, it's Blake Christensen.
I know.
Well, it's 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. We'll still be here covering it as we are every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative_ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo and ad-free shows. So on behalf of the best dressed man of 1993, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Just remember, Parker Lewis can't lose. He can't.